Two travelers here in Mexico, and today we're going to talk about a topic of house sitting and having house sitters.
Or clearing your throat.
Clearing my throat,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
And as some of you know, Mark and I had mentioned before, I think on our Facebook travel page, maybe on our video, I don't remember, that we had joined House Sit Mexico, and that works for us. But now with two dogs, I mean, we need to get a house sitter too when we go house sit or when we want to go travel. So we're going to be talking about that today. That's our topic today, on how it's working, how many we've had, and if we've done any house sits.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
So far it's working pretty good for us. We typically keep our schedule pretty flexible as to when we want to go somewhere, so that just makes it easier to work with possible house sitters.
Yeah.
It makes it a little more difficult to line up a house sit somewhere if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, most of the house sits that we find are in the same region.
Yeah.
And those are regions that we've traveled to, which is usually Ajijic, Lake Chapala, and San Miguel. If you join House Sitters Mexico, if that's what you're looking for, those destinations, you will find those a lot. There are other ones that do show up now and again. Some that are by the Yucatan. Unfortunately, Mark and I don't do real well with humidity. He'll be like a downpour on his face with humidity. So, you know, the ocean, a lot of people like. Us, not so much because of the humidity and the heat. But anyhow, aside from that, right? Off track again, right? Don't I always do that? I get off track. So Mark and we're on our fourth house sitter now. We had one, oh gosh, I don't even know what it was that we had. November was our first one. And he came to us, unfortunately, sick. He thought he just had eaten something bad and it was going to go away. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. We ended up canceling not canceling, but going to the bus terminal and asking them if they could make our ticket like another few days out and exchange it. Luckily, they did that.
Yeah.
So that worked out really well for us because we stayed with them. We took them to doctors, we took them to pharmacies. I keep a lot of stuff at my house for, aspirin, tummy issues, blah, 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 for us to use, other people to use, whatever. So that was already there. Unfortunate, that's what happened with our first one. He was feeling better in a couple of days. We show them how to ride the bus when we have house sitters. We take them shopping for stuff that they need to buy while they're there. Usually the way that it works when you're leaving your house and you have a house sitter is the people usually will supply their own food. They usually don't eat your food that you have there. I mean, that's been the experience that I'm aware of. I mean, there's times that I'll say, here's the butter, you could use the butter, I've got leftover bread, I've got this, whatever. Use those items up. If I have a open bottle of wine or something where I've had one glass, I'll tell them that they could help themselves to the bottle of wine, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we try to be pretty hospitable when people come to do a house sit. We try to acclimate them to the area, at least for the basic things. Show them where the shopping stores, grocery stores are,
and take them
into Centro. Show them how to catch the local bus from our house.
Yeah, we have a local bus by our house, so we'll ride the bus with them, show them like where they would get off if they want to go to certain areas where things are. We try to be,
just try to get them acclimated to the area somewhat, at least for the first couple of days that we're there.
Yeah, and have them walk the dogs with us a couple of times so that the dogs get used to them also. With our last house sitter that's there right now, Leslie, she came in like in the evening time. We picked her up at the bus terminal, and then we spent the whole next day with her that evening, of course, after we picked her up that evening before she got tired and went to bed. And then the next day, riding the bus, taking her shopping, stuff like that, walking the dogs, things like that. I guess show her where everything is in the house. And of course, I have a sheet on my refrigerator, like 4 pages long, that give you a lot of details on, using the TV, if there's a problem, my neighbors to contact, my friends with their phone numbers. I usually let my friends know when I have a house sitter, what their name is, stuff like that. What else? I'm trying to think of stuff that I'm sharing with you on what we do on our end.
To be clear, the sheet that you have is mostly about contact information, a few things about the house, and
Have
things
you
like
read
that.
my list?
I have read your list.
Have you? Because I talk about like which way the shower head thing goes. Because we've had people stay at our house before where they said, "Oh, your shower is so cold. You don't have any heat." I go, "Oh yeah, I do. You had the handle going the wrong way." So now I write it up on there. I tell them where the extra heaters are in the house, extra blankets are in the house, how to use the TV,
It's just
the internet stuff.
It's just stuff like that that'll be useful for them. It's not like 4 pages of a list of things that we expect this person to do.
No, we just
make
say
that perfectly clear.
Yeah. No, we're not those kind of people. No, like they know, like I have on the list, like to water my indoor plants like once a week. Water my outdoor plants if it's hot about every 3 or 4 days. If it rains, don't worry about it for a week. You're good. If it's a good rain, if it's like a 40-minute rain, no, then you would still water 3 or 4 days. But little stuff like that is pretty much what I tell them. And if they have any questions, I always say, WhatsApp me, send me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I might be somewhere where I don't have internet, but I'll get back to you when I do have internet.
Right. So why do you think people consider, number one, putting their house on a house sitting website? And secondly, why would you consider sitting at taking a house sit for someone's house? Okay.
Well, first of all, I would say if you want to travel around, your biggest expense is hotels, Airbnbs. So if you want to get to know Mexico, my suggestion is to join a site. You don't have to join my site, although you do get a 20% discount, but that's not what this is about. Join a site if that's what you want to do. If you want to travel, because your accommodations will be covered for free. And that's, like I said, the biggest expense when you're traveling. Plus, you get to know the area. That's a really good plus. But you know what? Letting strangers into your house isn't always for everybody. I mean, we have friends that would never consider doing this. They don't want anybody in their house. They're afraid that they might be going through their stuff. We don't really have much stuff to go through, so it's not a problem. There's a lot of reasons that people might not want someone in their house. For us, there's a lot of reasons why we do want someone in our house. It makes it convenient for us so that we can travel. We don't always get another house sit to do on our end. So, we may have to pay for an Airbnb. We may have to pay for the hotel accommodations, and that's okay.
But we still have peace of mind knowing that our dogs are being taken care of. Paulette's plants are being watered. And that's a lot of the house sits that we see posted are that. It's some sort of pet care is involved, or watering plants is involved. Sometimes, though, on a longer sits where people are just, going back to their home country for a few months, they just want someone to occupy their house. So it doesn't look unoccupied, which is a good safety thing.
Right. So. Oh, I agree. You'll find some house sits that are for a weekend. You'll find some house sits for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, 6 months. Something like that.
It's for me, I think it's just a great way to check out areas, like the areas that Paulette mentioned, like Lake Chapala, Ajijic, San Miguel. Those seem to be the most popular three. But, other areas come up too, Puerto Vallarta and places like that. great way to check them out. If you can you get to stay there for free. Maybe you have to walk dogs or take care of cats or water some plants or something like that. But usually that doesn't involve that much out of the day to do.
No, not at all.
No.
Some house sits also will let you have access to their vehicle. We don't do that. Right down the street from me is where you can catch the local bus about every half hour or something like that. And I'm just not comfortable with that. But some people are. Some people will let you use their vehicle. Some people that might be a little bit further out. Mine, where we're located, you do need to have a vehicle to get to the central part. But buses are available, Uber's available, taxis available. There's a lot of different things that are available in my community too. So no, I don't give people access to my vehicle.
Yeah.
But like I said, other people do. What else can I say? We've done one house sit so far.
Yeah.
That's it. We've only done one so far. Because again, it's not in the areas that we're looking to travel. But again, like I said, if you guys are really interested in scoping out areas, that is the way to go. It really is, for your accommodations for free. And the reason I think why Ajijic, Lake Chapala, and San Miguel always seem to be available is because those are expat communities.
Expat communities, yeah.
For sure.
And a lot of people own homes there, but they, go back to Canada a few months, and so they need someone to watch their house for a longer period of time. There's a lot of that goes on in those areas too.
Yeah, I think so. Mexico City sometimes becomes available. Like places by the ocean become available. It's just too hot for us, really, in the humidity.
Right.
But there are other places. You really got to keep your eye on it. And I was telling one of my friends that's going to be moving here in November, Kinney, that I think it's a great thing to do. You get a feel for the area, which is really important. Your most expense is your rental space, which is free through the house sitting. The only thing you have to pay for is the fee that they charge once a year. And I think it's like $80 a year. Something like that. Yeah. And then under us, you save like 20%. Right. But again, it's not for everybody, but I think it's a great way to check out the area, do a short stay, a long stay, whatever you decide to do, whether you want animals involved, whether you don't.
I'll leave a link below to the website that we use and a link to our discount code should you decide to join on that website.
Right. But again, it's a good topic that we've never really fully discussed. And just wanted you guys to kind of be aware of it, especially those that are nomads that are out there that don't have a specific place to stay. This is a great way to travel for free, a great way to learn the areas, and areas that you're not sure of that you might be considering moving to. Go back, look on the site again and see if there's more in that area where you can stay longer or make another trip or two. Yeah. That's my suggestion. I mean, had Mark and I known about like this house sit in Mexico beforehand, I think we would have done that.
Yeah.
But we didn't. Yeah. Right? You learn things later on down the line. And now we really have to have a house sitter because we adopted the 2 street dogs. And of course I have over 1 million plants.
Yeah, at least 1 million.
No, but there's always room for more. There's always room for more plants.
Yeah.
And this is just one way that we wanted to share with you that you guys can come to Mexico and check it out. If you like dogs, if you like cats, that's what most of the people have, and then others no animals at all. You will find some exotic animals maybe once in a while. We haven't even seen that posted yet. It's mostly dogs and cats, or no animals where they want you to occupy the home for them for 3 to 6 months, something like that.
Yeah.
So one other thing that I wanted to mention too is when you do go on a house sit site, you do create a profile of yourselves. Tell a little bit about yourselves if you have animals, what have you. You can post some pictures of your home on there for people to see. And then when you do list your home, people that will see it on the site will reply to you. And what happens is we're all assigned like your first name and like 3 code numbers to identify each of us. And so what'll happen is that code number, you'll get a reply, you'll check your inbox and there'll be some replies there. I'm not Italiano, I'm not an Italiano person. I just love talking with my hands. That's more like Boston, man, I don't know. Anyhow, cut all that out, I'm just being weird. Okay, all right. So you'll get an inbox reply from people, not just one, but usually Mark and I will get anywhere between 6 to a dozen replies from people showing interest on doing that house sit during that time. You can also click on their little picture link with their name and their 3 numbers, and that'll take you to their profile page where you can read more up on them, whether they have references, you can read all that. And things like that. So I just kind of wanted to mention that to you too. I didn't want to leave you not knowing how it works and what the process is to get started. And then also if you want to look for a house sit, you just hit that area to look for a house sit and then you could see it all there. And then if that looks like an area you're interested in or that time frame looks interesting, you just click that and then it'll give you more information on specifics that the owner might have. Like, you know, like I have a dog that takes medication. They need to take their thyroid medication or their heart medication once a day in their food. I need you to clean out my cat litter box daily. You know, they'll give you more specifics to everything that they have. And if that's something that sounds reasonable and workable for you, then you can apply. If it sounds like something that might be too demanding, then pass it up and move to the next one. There you go. From the 2 travelers in Mexico, as always.
Watch you did.
Bye, guys.
Bye.